Yay.
You should see us on the screen now
I I don't.
in a second.
Oh. Oh shit. There yeah. We're we're happening.
Can you hear you?
I can hear me. I'm not listening to me. I don't listen to the YouTube part.
Well, anyway, if anybody's watching, we do have like one. That must be you. We will
Yeah,
switch over.
that's me.
Switch over now. Okay,
Yay!
here
Look
we
at
are.
that.
So
Technical masterpiece.
that's right. And so I believe that should be working. Someone will probably tell us if it isn't. Do you have the chat on?
I have the chat open. There is one person watching. I sent out the Twitterer message.
You got one on Facebook too?
I didn't, but I will do that.
I think I can do it from here actually easily. Share my stream. Facebook, add stream link.
Aha, look at that. I posted it.
There you go.
Three
And-
more boxes, same Skeeter. Why do you guys keep doing that? No one subscribes to this video to listen to me.
No one does listen to me either, so that's what makes it cool.
It weirdly everybody just wants to see Zach's box.
That's
which
right. Which we can
sounds
start with.
So bad.
Skeeter Green, I asked you earlier before we started if you had a D3. Will you
I
roll
do.
said D3?
I will roll. So I'm actually going to math this, and I am going to roll a D12
Ooh.
because historically in RPGs,
Somebody got fancy.
D12s just don't get used for anything.
A little too fancy.
That is going to be the first box.
All right, well, there we go. So, the first box is a thick one and a heavy one. Oof.
Oh man,
You can almost hear the thump.
that's a classic.
It's
That
a classic.
is,
We'll explore why in just a moment. But this is the Rollmaster box. This is a ICE 1000. So I know
That's-
almost nothing
that's the
about
first.
ICE as a company, but I actually know a ton about Rollmaster because I played MERP. And
oh boy.
and I would have grabbed MERP, but I grabbed these randomly. I did a trick with cards. I had a
Oh,
deck of cards
jeez. Oh
and I pulled it out so I could go on my shelves.
Oh my
So,
God, there are 3 people watching us.
I know. Has anybody complained about the audio?
No, but I haven't asked either.
Okay. I'm sure they would right away. Nope, we have
Oh,
two.
I'm sure.
See, we drove one off already, dude.
Yep.
Anyway.
I'm wondering if this is Keith. I wonder if Keith is on and listening to us because he's a good dude.
Keith would tell us.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's Jim. Now I feel all self-conscious.
As you should.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so Rollmaster. What do you know about Rollmaster, Skeeter Green?
I know that Chaosium is doing. They're bringing this back currently. They're in
Really?
the throes of rebuilding the Rollmaster lore. Yes, and fun fact: they have a lizard man that looks anatomically. I guess is the term I want to use. Correct. The lizard doesn't have a collarbone like lizard men in certain art pieces do because they would not be built that way. But I don't want to get down that rabbit hole because that gets into the whole fantasy, realm. Doesn't have to follow physics or linguistics, which is a different argument going around the interweebs right now.
We had a whole issue with this during Rap and Athic that I won't bring up either, but about snake men. But anyway,
Yeah.
such is our
yeah.
lives. This is how Skeeter Green and I spend our time.
Yeah, weird tangential conversations.
All right, so
But crack into that box.
I'm
there.
going to right there. So Iron Crown
Yeah.
Enterprises. I don't know the year on the box set. I know that Rollmaster was early '80s. So nothing on the interior side of the
it would
box
have
set.
to be very early 80s. I'm
Okay.
thinking 1 or 2.
We will find
could
out quickly.
I could find that out.
Wow, I bought this box set for somebody who was really cool because they're all shrinked or stored
Whoa.
nicely. Look at that.
Look at that.
So we got spell law, arms and claw law, character law,
1980.
Is that what it's? Did you look that up?
I'm
Oh,
yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
1980 for the box set or for the first book?
First book was 1980.
And which was the first one?
I'm trying to figure out the box set. Could an initial box set was brought out in 1984.
So this would be the 1984 box set. And
It
what
looks in fantastic shape.
it's in great shape. I think I got it from Jim Johnson in Texas. Anyway,
Oh,
so this is
that
one of the
guy.
reasons why I remember this so well was the skills-based leveling of everybody for all the character types. And so you had values, norms, and bonuses of attributes normally, but then you had all these little check boxes right here
Mm-hmm.
where you could say, okay, I can climb this good and I can ride this well and I can do all this stuff. Making a character took all damn day.
Yeah.
And making a party of characters took all week. And
This actually brings up a very interesting argument about old school versus new school games and skills, which I'm not going to segue off into right now.
no, but honestly,
But
no, do segue a little bit off into it because I have a strong opinion, but I want to share it after you.
so the argument is for some games, notably Pathfinder and some of 5e, is there's an argument saying that the heavy emphasis on pre-made skills like this is more of a recipe instead of the free form, like in 0e and 1e you just kind of explained what you were trying to do, and the DM or GM had to go off that and interpret what you wanted to do as a dice roll. And it has been thought of that set skill bundles like this is more of a newfangled game mechanic, which obviously from 1984 that's not the case. So I mean, I'm all for it. If you have a list of skills that people can easily gravitate to and say, hey, I want to use spot or listen or, jump or whatever, for some people, when they're role playing, they don't want to have to describe things. They just want to point to a thing and say, I want to do that.
And I think
So,
that's a totally legit way to play. I actually find that to be, if you want to concentrate on combat and you want to concentrate on the simulation aspects, it makes it more real, if they would say that way. But I honestly think that I see them both as completely legitimate. I don't see one as ruining another, for example. But I like all
right.
games. I really don't. I'm not that picky. I like all games, and I think they all have a place, except for a very few that I won't name. Written
Oh
by
boy.
me.
Oh,
No,
come on now.
no. Anyway, so let's take a look at one of the books here. I got Spell Law first because one of the things that struck me with Rollmaster was that it had spells and they were based in groups, and so you had like what's a good base list? Fire Law. So Fire Law has 10 spells, or this one has actually 50 levels. Oh wow, that's ahead of where I
Wow.
remember. 50 levels, and those are each spell levels that you would use to do everything from boil liquid all the way to stone fire and fire mastery, etc. So all your
Where is Fireball? Because
fireball.
Jim Wampler is watching.
There's a firebolt at 6,
Okay.
and then a firebolt 300. Call flame, firestorm would probably be the closest one. Looks like to me.
Where is Nuclear Apocalypse?
Oh, that's probably in the other book, dude.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea. Well, here it says here, firestorm is call flame except for balls of fire rain down. That looks
Ooh,
like it.
get a shot
Anyway,
for that.
so there are lots and lots of lists, and there's different kinds of classes like mentalism. There's mentalism, there's animism, there's the elemental ones for like the fire mages, and you have ice, and then you have ones that do animal and druidic-like stuff. So they had all of them built like this, and they're built on spell points, which is really odd. Looking back, at the time I was so used to Vancian magic, I thought that was a huge innovation, and I loved it then. I don't love it now, mostly because I'm who I am, but it was a
Yeah.
different system to me, and I thought it was really neat. But what Rollmaster did well was made so many of the spells at low level so lame that by the time you were able to abuse the system, you've been playing a really long time. one of the other thing about Rollmaster is
fair.
you tended not to play that long because of this. That right there is a short bow attack table.
Nope.
Yep, that's it though. I'm not lying to you. There is
I
the
believe it.
mace attack table.
That's again a hearty nope.
Yep, monster statistic charts. Let's see if I can find the where's the critical hit tables here. Well, there's a beak pincher attacks. This one you have to go up the landscape.
Well, in that case, I would have to change my answer and go with nope.
Horn tusk attacks.
So I do actually have a question here for you, Zach.
Yeah. Yep.
The other book you were looking at.
Yeah, spell law.
Is that a perfect bound book?
I think that might be one of the first program books that I remember, but yes, it is.
And how has it held up?
Actually, I'm going to say quite well. I bet it's been opened 12 times since this was purchased. But
right.
No, but it's held up quite well.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's
now the very back, the
extensive
second
use.
Just the second one there. You see that?
Oh yeah.
There's a little separation there for a not very well used book. So take that where you will. But
well, how many pages are in that book?
This one is 160.
It's pretty stout for a perfect bound book.
It is pretty stout, especially because that was a fairly new process then, was it not?
That is almost 35 years old.
Yeah, I did want to share with you some of the because these are the critical strike tables. Okay.
Yeah.
And critical strikes went from a certain level, like a 100, down to 1 to 5, and a damage level up to E. So at 100 E, you crush the foe's windpipe. The foe dies instantly due to massive shock and savage asphyxiation. And then add 25 to next roll.
As you do.
Yeah, and then
I mean,
a 1A is a weak grip, no bonus. So it's a whole different range. I mean, they have entire pages of these critical strike tables.
Well, now be a good displayer and say that show that whole black top band that's very specific. Tiny animal critical strike table.
Yeah. All right. Do you Skeeter have a D100?
I do have a D100.
Roll.
I will do so. I am going to give you a 77.
Okay, and then we're going to give you a D for damage. Why not? 77.
Okay. 77.
For the tiny animal critical strike table, you get an arm strike. Muscle and tendon torn. Foe fights at -25, takes +2 hits per round, and is stunned for 3 rounds.
If I was a tiny animal, I would have tore somebody's ass up with that.
Now, you sure would have, man. The very top one is an unbelievable neck strike. Knocks foe down. Vein and artery are severed.
Unbelievable neck strike.
I could probably do this all day.
That is the name of our band. We'll start a band.
Unbelievable neck strike.
Unbelievable neck strike.
I have to admit, I find the other thing is hysterical is the critical hit tail for crushing is K-Rush. You look at that on the screen.
Okay. That, are we a rap band now?
I guess so. But, like, blast a foe's chest area, destroy foe's heart.
Ooh.
So anyway, that made the strike tables extremely important, and actually was a little tougher to actually play the game. But that's how many there were.
There's some writing in that book?
Yeah, there is. And actually it says only get bonuses from magic weapons.
Somebody defiled that book.
I know.
I'm outraged.
Johnson, what's up? So, but that's that. So that's the spell law and the arms law.
Cool.
The last one's the character law. And that's one is described how you made your character based on all your different skills, what the skill had done. I actually kind of like the art in these. There's not a lot of it, but it's all nice old school black and white line art.
Yeah, you're getting some lens flare there from your lighting.
Sorry, hold on.
So in Rollmaster, do you have the option to die during character creation?
No, that's only
okay.
I think that's the main one of that is still Traveler, is it not?
Oh yeah, Traveler is the big one.
And Swords and Wizardry.
I'm not sure. I'd like to ask our man Jim Wampler if you can die in MCC character creation.
That's a good question. He's the right guy to ask.
Well, he would know. So if he has hung in there through our ridiculousness, maybe he can answer that question.
That's a Rollmaster right off my shelf, and to be honest,
it's good looking art.
It is good looking art, and It was a
especially
fun
for
system.
mid-'80s.
It was a fun system when I was a kid because I thought the critical strikes were so funny. I thought that they were rare to get. They were funny until they happened to you. And so
Right.
and it's funny because they got the license for Middle Earth role playing, and this was not the system that Middle Earth was built around. They really had to shoehorn the spell system and the various critical hits
Oh,
to
yeah.
match Middle Earth in a way that, thank God, they did such a good job of making Middle Earth seem awesome with the artwork they used, the maps they had, and the various other things that it didn't take away from it so much. But the system itself was not ideal, and I love it just because it's what it is, but it wasn't perfect. So that's the first one. All
Oh,
right,
we have an answer.
and the answer is
Authorita on MCC says yes, you can die during character generation.
that's
So,
awesome.
way to go.
If you can't see me on the screen, but my hat's off to you, Jim Wampler. All right, next one is
I don't
from
believe-
Skeeter's favorite company. What's your favorite company?
Oh, oh Lord. Oh, is this actually from Chaosium?
Yes.
Oh, is this going to be Stormbringer?
Nope.
Oh, okay. No, surprise me, please. Whoa! All right.
Larry and Ivan's Ringworld, the role-playing game by Chaosium.
Yes.
So, this one is interesting to me because I've never read the novels,
Me either.
but I understand the concept, and I think it actually is a really interesting concept, especially because some of the video games I've played have pulled off that, and I know that it was based on science that actually turned out to be not legit. So as they wrote the later Ringworld books, they actually had to add other elements to make it so the world wouldn't collapse on itself. Anyway, so
Hey,
this is
whatever.
Ringworld.
That dude on the front of that box is legit.
No, he is, dude. And
I'm not messing with him
you
at
can't
all.
see it either. They've got little guys running around with big teeth. Everybody chasing
Yeah,
everybody.
don't care. That big blue dude is not to be trifled with.
Yeah. So here we got. I think this was actually an additional book. So, and that was a note saying it's missing 2 pages when I bought it. So, all right. So there's your technology book right here. The cover art's not so fancy. Once again, not so fancy cover art. Explorer's book, the creatures book, and a set of pawns.
This is also from 1984. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. So a set of pawns without any kind of cases. It gives you an example on how to put together.
Nice.
See the example there?
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's upside down, but
Yeah.
cool.
And then there's
No,
nothing on the back.
That's blank.
Yeah. And then the reference sheets. And that just looks like the tables all sitting there. So let's take a quick dive. Since none of us know anything about this, I'm going to guess it's basic fantasy role-playing or whatever system they use for the other Chaosium stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna throw down just a little bit of knowledge.
Okay, do so.
Here on you. 2 of the authors. Oh, 3. At least 3 that are listed as authors on this book are still making games to this day.
We should ask him about this. Actually, I find this stuff interesting because this was obviously licensed. Oh, hey, what do you know? It's
Holy
signed.
cow.
Is that Sandy Peterson? It is Sandy Peterson. I didn't know this.
Dude. Man.
Yeah, well, I actually had no idea. So, and then Sandy Pearson and
That
Joe
being
Russell.
one,
So, but that's Sandy
Yeah.
Pearson, all right, because I have him on the front of my Cthulhu box. Well,
yeah,
all right.
and Greg Stafford is credited on that as well.
So, well, there we go. So it looks to me like it looks a lot like the old Call of Cthulhu book in terms of like it's real straightforward. Tables you can barely read, even if I bring it close to the camera.
Yeah, no, that is very indicative of early Call of Cthulhu games. They all looked like that, and actually, while the layout looks pretty plain and not exciting, and the layout people that we know will probably go apoplectic about it, it's very easy to read.
Considering how small it isn't bad. I have to admit,
Yeah.
that's true. But it's actually better than the second edition D&D book.
There have been a number of times I have been in the dark reading these books, and yes, that's legitimately a thing that I have done.
Yep.
And I don't, get sick or headachy about it. The layout was very functional. Um, it's very clean. Doesn't get cluttered up. That looks like the basic mechanics, pretty much for everything that they've used. I'm sure there were slight variations, but
That's about the first piece of
really
art I've seen. That's kind of cool. It's like an otter guy. So.
their art was sparse, but really not bad at all. All black and white. No color except on the outside of products.
I kind of like that too. Huh? All right. Creature toys with a victim. Mud people. I dig it.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Hey, it's like a Star Trek Delton. Anyway, so that's the Ringworld, and this one I believe I'm almost 100% sure the companion book is was one of the few extras they offered.
Yeah,
I bought that at the same time. That was a secondary book. So new hominids, adventures, artifacts, and aliens.
So is that the okay? So that doesn't give me a year on that one.
All right, and then finally, Mr. Skeeter Green, ready?
Hit me.
All right.
Yep.
You're gonna know a lot more about this one. Boom.
I don't know about that. Oh my goodness.
The Hoard.
The Hoard.
I actually have the novel for this by David Zeb Cook, one of my favorite designers.
He's amazing and hilarious. If you get the opportunity to spend a quiet minute just talking with Zeb, if that works out, he's got some stories and just a nice dude.
Totally nice dude. And so
very nice.
I actually read that novel, and that's unusual for me because I didn't read a lot of the TSR novels, but I actually enjoyed it because I find the all the 12th century Mongolian horde stuff to be interesting, the Genghis Khan and all the Khans after the Kublai Khan and the Mongol Empire. Fascinating. So I thought this was cool. I knew that, knowing now, I know that influenced David Cook a lot. So anyway, so we got the campaign setting book. We got so this one's the historical and social overviews, the geographical and geological data, and then we have all the cards. All the fancy
cards.
Second edition cards.
Yep.
So Bad Wine, Caravan of Fools, art.
The art on those cards was really... They went through a time period where they did these cards and put them in their box sets for the Forgotten Realms. And a lot of them were really pretty good. No, I mean, it's not the greatest art you've ever seen. And, the cartography compared to what we have now, we've been kind of spoiled with someone who I will let you name.
Alyssa Faden.
Yep.
And
because we love Alyssa.
It was true. But to be honest, the software wasn't there back then either. I mean, so they were doing, a lot of this was probably still done by hand, which I think would have been hard to make interesting. But so there's that. And then we have some of the artifact cards. The biggest problem with the cards, in my opinion, as a guy who collects them, is they were always missing from these boxes when you buy them. You never know if you have a complete set. So
yeah, it's hard to find out.
We call that a first world problem. So, but anyway, so
that's a fantasy first world problem.
Yeah, really. So here's a 2-part card, the caravan route, right? And I think that fits around the Forgotten Realms map somewhere. I don't know where. So, yeah, more
and
of
that
these.
Stuff never matches up.
Oh no, I was trying to be nice. So
no, that's fine. I'll be shitty about it.
That's what your job is. That's what.
Yeah, I'm the color commentary.
So these are the kind of player handouts, though, I actually quite like, and I'd like to see Frog God do more of these with their modules, because I think that something you can show people that is like kind of brings you into it for the table for a game is cool. So
well, there is a company that I'll say, Chaosium, has built a reputation on player handouts, and the players and the company have put out brilliant packages of player aids, and just amazing. It really immerses you in the game and makes it that much better.
So, and then there's some more of the adventures. The caravan generator. This looks like proto Tome of Adventure Design stuff right there. Right. And then, what we got in here? Ooh. See,
languages.
I get kind of excited now all of a sudden. Like, hey, check it out. It's a language chart. And I believe the back has a translation. Yes, it does.
Now, this is a perfect opportunity for Ian McGarty to weigh in on that, since he's a language guy.
And then these are I believe these are the sheets that are supposed to go into the old second edition
Creature Compendium?
That's right, Monstrous Compendium.
Monstrous
I had to
Compendium?
look at my shelf to see it, but yes, Monstrous Compendium.
Yeah, I don't have that anymore.
No. And these are the hard things to actually find inside of the boxes.
Yeah.
These went into those and they never came back out. There's an overlay, which, hold on, getting there. Boom.
Interesting.
Yep. A little grid overlay.
I think I actually have one of those floating around here somewhere that is missing its box set.
A subscription form for Dragon and Dungeon.
Wow.
And then the giant maps. And these are actually quite nice. The paper they're on is nice. I can't even unfold them all with this like this, but these were well done. And when I pulled this out earlier and looked at the maps, I was pleased. And I'm really picky about maps because I like them. So
map nerd.
For the going used rate for these is kind of low, and I think it's a great box set. It's probably one of my favorites from the second edition era, but I didn't follow a lot of the stuff from like Spelljammer, though I'm trying to get into that now because I find it a lot more interesting than I used to. And so
yeah, the Hoard was one of the box sets from that era of Forgotten Realms that I didn't actually play in. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but we never did the Hoard as a campaign.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's heavy. I know that seems like but compared to the Ringworld, it's heavier than Ringworld. It's almost as heavy as the Rollmaster was. So I would give this one a pick up if you just wanted something 4 games to play in a second edition, or you want to just have a setting. I think it's cool and well done. The Ringworld, you'd have to have a lot of buy-in from characters, I think, because everybody has to know the story, I think, to make it fun. That's the same problem I have with like one of my favorites I own is Sky Realms of Jarun. But the problem is it's so unusual that it takes a really dedicated party. And I know that we all want to pretend like we have that, but we don't. Very rarely.
No.
And then, so that's limited if you're like I do. The reason I have it is because I do like the older and a little more obscure box sets. I find it interesting just because it gives you a history of what was for sale and what you could have, and what you saw in Dragon magazine ads. And then finally, the Rollmaster, and that one is actually I found cool because it's linked not just to Middle Earth role playing, but it has the most comprehensive system for its time for critical strikes.
Just say insane and cut to the chase.
Yeah, it's overwhelmingly filled with tables. But it's cool. There are people who still play it. I know. I see them online.
Oh yeah,
it's played on Roll20. I think whoever put that information into Roll20 was a hero.
Well, there are always a ton of Rollmaster games played at every convention we have been to. North Texas has a half a dozen of those games playing all the time. I don't know about Gamehole. I imagine Gary Con and Gen Con both have a bunch if you can track them down through the massive lists of games. But yeah, it is by no means a unplayed system.
Yeah,
people are still playing it.
Yeah, I don't think Ringworld's been played very, very often since its inception, which is too bad. What I did find out today, though, is I have a signed copy.
Yeah.
What a hoot.
That's fantastic. Well, you mean you had a signed copy?
No, I still have it. It's right here.
No, well, yeah, but it's on its way.
See,
it's leaving you.
See,
no,
see,
no, it's leaving you.
There it is, right there, signed. Oh, look.
Hey, have you talked to your wife lately? Because I have.
Damn it, Skeeter.
Yeah.
On that note, all right, thank you. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot. We won't be doing this next week because Skeeter has to go somewhere important that's in an undisclosed location. But we'll be doing it again the week after. And we have a good time doing it, so we hope that you guys enjoyed watching it. And anybody who catches it afterwards on Matt's channel, we are the most entertaining thing on Matt's channel. We know it's true. We can't help it. All right, thanks, everybody.